Today we're with Anil Singh-Molares, CEO of Echo Mundi of Bellevue, Washington. Mr. Singh-Molares was speaking in our philosophy classes earlier today, and I want to touch base with him on a few of the themes there. One of the themes you mentioned and emphasized was the importance of your international multicultural background, and especially foreign languages, to your success in the modern business world. Mm-hmm. How important has foreign language proficiency and cross-cultural experience been?
It's been critical. It's been critical. The ability to learn foreign languages means you have the ability to learn foreign cultures. And foreign languages, foreign cultures facilitates international business. The world is smaller and smaller. We have more and more international products coming in through our borders. We have more and more of our products going out. That means increasing communication with, Chinese, the Indians, Germans, French, Spanish, and so on. And so the ability to be able to communicate in those languages and understand the cultures was a huge benefit to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Excellent. Well, clearly in the American context, the domestic market, Spanish is hugely important for business students. In the international context, which languages and cultures seem to be most significant? So over the course of the next generation, what can we anticipate?
Well, I mean, we know that there's, 40% of the world's population now is two countries, India and China. Mm. And so these are these are nations that have come up very quickly in the last 10, 15 years. Sure. And I remember the contrast between visiting China in 1992, 93, and then 10 years later. Mm. It's astonishing. It's like two different countries. So they're growing very, very rapidly. They're very powerful. And with 830 million Mandarin speakers in the world, which is the largest collection of native speakers of a single language worldwide, although English is the most spoken language when you include second language speakers, having some proficiency in those languages, certainly in their cultures, is going to give anyone trying to do business there a huge advantage over anyone who doesn't have that experience.
All right. When you were an undergraduate, you had a double major in English literature and philosophy.
Yes.
How important were the liberal arts more broadly, but then in particular, say, the English literature major? What did that do for you in your business career?
Well, English literature was very helpful. And again, to follow on what we were just saying about communicating. So the ability to communicate well in one language also helps you communicate well in any language. Right. And to present good arguments, to be able to, and I'd say the most important skill is to be able to speak someone's language, not just literally but culturally, so that you put them at ease. So if you go to Japan and you understand about the tea ceremony, and you understand about Shinto, and you understand about aspects that are very unique to Japanese culture, you see the people you're dealing with, their eyes light up, and they go, "Oh, here's someone who's taken some time to understand, who appreciates our culture," and they reciprocate very quickly. Now they're very polite, so if you don't have that knowledge, they won't say anything. But clearly, if you do and you demonstrate it, it puts them at ease. Mm. And I think that literature in general, and that English degree in particular, helped me hone my skills in terms of communicating, not just in English, but in other languages as well.
Your other major was one that's dear to my heart, yes. Philosophy. In what way did philosophy help? It doesn't seem to a lot of people an obvious connection, philosophy and business. How so? Well,
philosophy was probably, of the three academic degrees I have, and I have another master's degree in theology, but philosophy was probably the most important, most valuable, for a variety of reasons. Number one is the ability to analyze lots of different arguments, historical and not so historical, but to basically be able to dig beneath the surface, understand how the argument was constructed, appreciate it before deciding whether to agree with it or disagree with it, I think was a key skill. The ability to apply common sense, which I'm always saying is one of the most uncommon things you can find in business, is also critical. So reasoning, argumenting, understanding, those skills that philosophers have taught for many, many years are invaluable. And right. The Socratic method specifically works just as well now as it did 2,000 or more years ago. in its ability to really help you penetrate arguments and to see what's really going on here before you decide whether to agree with it or not. So, philosophy, key degree. Absolutely.
Your business career is quite varied. You've had experience at a large, successful, aggressive, innovative corporation, Microsoft, and you were there for 12 years. And you're now in your 5th year as an entrepreneur with Ecomundi. What are the key differences between working as an entrepreneur and working even within an innovative, fast-growing, large organization?
Sure. Well, so, the nice thing about working in a big company is that you're taken care of. That there's a babysitter in the back, and so you can afford to fail in ways that entrepreneurs cannot. So when I left Microsoft 5-6 years ago, I thought that the skills I had acquired there, which is building up a lot of companies from scratch, helping them with their personnel choices, contracting, negotiating, etc., that those skills would be easily transferable. And while they were to some extent, they weren't as much as I thought they would be. Because it really requires a different skill set to be an entrepreneur. You've got to be willing to jump off that cliff knowing that there's no harness holding you up. And in a corporation, there is that harness.
Right. So is the different skill set mostly psychological, being able to face that risk, not knowing that there's no safety net
Yes.
if you're an entrepreneur, and then still having the toughness and the resilience to
Exactly. I think the key difference between corporate America and entrepreneurial America is risk taking. That the entrepreneurs have to be bolder. They have to be more comfortable with the possibility of failure, which is very real, and that provides them with a much thicker skin. It's a very different approach to doing business than when you're in a corporate environment. So yeah, you have to be bold. You have to be unafraid, and you also have to live with the consequences, because you're in a big company, you fail, and more often than not, you can get up and try again. If you stake your house and your career on a particular business and you haven't done your homework and it fails, then you lose your house and you potentially are set back much further than in corporate America.
Right. That's the downside of entrepreneurship, but entrepreneurship has its upsides.
Yes.
What would you say the greatest rewards have been for you in
well, you're your own boss, and
independence.
Independence and being able, the master of your own destiny is key. Having that degree of independence, having that degree of flexibility in terms of your hours, how you work is you decide how you work, and when you work, and how you approach different issues, and you don't have some of the corporate politics that you do in larger companies. So yeah, there's a lot of upside if you execute well.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us today.
Well, thank you.